In today's Invite Me program, Australian traveller Robert Boyd has received an invitation from craftsman Joly engaged in decorative and applied arts. Right now, he's going to Akshi village to find out what talkie means, why nomads made wooden crockery, and how to cook tasty kordak.
G'day there everyone, my name's Rob and I'm from Australia and I love to travel and explore about the origins of people and their culture and how it affects their daily lives. And make a few friends. So if you think the people of Kazakhstan are the most hospitable, invite me. I've found some really interesting facts about Kazakhstan, but you're going to have to wait a little while to find that out. I've got some really exciting news. I've been putting things onto my social media websites, looking for invitations from different families, because I don't want to just travel around Kazakhstan. I want to meet the families, I want to spend a day with the family and really understand what it is to be about Kazakh people. And I have some really exciting news. A guy called Joly has invited me to spend a day with his family, and he's in the Akshi region. So, come and join me. Let's go. Okay guys, we're heading off to a place called Akshi. Now I've done a little bit of research about this place. It's around a population of 3,000 people, but here's the tricky fact. There's 8 places in Kazakhstan by this name. So I'm really hoping that this is the one that we're supposed to be going to. So we're gonna go search for my friend Joly. Let's go check it out. Let's go, keep rolling. I love these mountains, they're so beautiful. And it's such a green... The tourists whose comments I read before the trip to Kazakhstan were right. The weather is perfect here. Sometimes it really reminds me of my native Australia. I've seen so many fields here. Apparently local residents use them to grow various crops. I wonder what they grow here. Probably they do corn. Oh, it's great. It's a real apple orchard. By the way, my friends, I found out something interesting. According to British scientists, the first apples on the planet appeared in Kazakhstan. After a detailed genetic study of all the species of apples on the planet, biologists came to a conclusion that this region, Almaly, natural boundary to be exact, most probably was the native place of the Bible apple. Alma translates from the Turkic language as an apple, and the name of this place derives from it. Who knows, maybe Adam and Eve walked here, and now I'm doing it. Stop. This looks really tasty. Let's go check it out. This small snack bar situated near the road attracted my attention. However, it's difficult to call it a snack bar because it looks like a roadside store. Assortment isn't rich here since you can buy only samsa and flatbreads, liposhki. Nevertheless, the locals told me that people arrive here from the city to enjoy fresh and healthy baked goods. It smells so good. I love this stuff. Thank you very much. It smells delicious. Thank you. Bon appetit. Come again. Thank you very much. Do you mind if you show me how this is all cooked? It's very interesting. Do you want to look at our furnace? Come in. Thank you. The owner politely allowed me to enter and look at the oven where the samsa and flatbreads are baked.
It turns out that they do it in a tandoor, which is a pitch-shaped brazier spread among the Asian peoples. All the vitamins and nutrients are preserved in food cooked in tandoor. In addition, this oven helps save time when cooking and the amount of firewood. It's a great invention. Not at all. Come here again. Have a nice day. Thanks.
Thank you.
According to the sign, we've arrived. This is Akshi village. Well, Wikipedia was correct. It's really a small village. However, it's very distinctive. The local residents mainly have one-story houses with a small plot of land. I've noticed cows and sheep in some yards. While I was looking at the village, I met local kids and even played a few national games together with them. Good afternoon.
G'day, Dulat. Excellent to meet you. I'm very happy that we managed to find here. Do you know there's 8 different Akshis in Kazakhstan?
Our village is called Akshi. Shi means a plant and Ak translates as white, so it's a white plant.
I was wondering. That's good.
Let's go, I'll show you our museum.
Thank you.
Dolet heartily welcomed me. He said that introducing me to the history of his family should begin here, at the Museum of Decorative and Applied Arts, named after Dolet's father, Darkembai Shokporov. By the way, the monument to the craftsman Darkembai is erected in the yard of the museum. The area where the museum is located is small and cozy. Anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing what is inside. These are the works my father worked on when he was a student. My father and grandfathers were engaged in the applied arts. They were famous craftsmen.
So, this was your father's home, but now it's a museum. Can you tell me about that? How did it happen?
We used to live here before and it was our house. The story of this museum started when we passed by this building in 1996 and bought it. My father had been born in this village and he wanted his museum to be in his native village. When we were going along this highway in 1996, we saw this abandoned house and decided to buy it. Craftsman Darkembai was a real devotee of his work. He travelled around tiny and remote Kazakhstan's villages for 40 years and collected over 2,000 valuable exhibits. Darkembai dreamed of opening a museum of applied arts in his native village, Akshi. Today I'm in this village. Dolet told me craftsman Darkembai hadn't lived to see the official opening of the museum. However, he had time to hand down all the secrets of ancient handcrafts to his son Dolet. I've nearly forgotten to say the most important thing. Dolet works as a director of this museum. Previously he helped his father to build up this amazing collection and now he is its custodian. In these photos you can see my father when he was a pupil and the certificates he received. He was a very good student. He's a self-portrait which he made when he was a student. It's made of copper and the technique he used is called facing.
I bet that's heavy.
These are the works he made when he was a student. He worked with metal and wood. Robert, I wanted to tell you how my father mastered his art. My father and grandfather were hereditary craftsmen. My grandfather, Shokpa, taught my father's uncle Ahmed applied arts. They had remarkable skills at jewelry making and blacksmithing. He taught everything to my father, Darkenbai. You can see them in these photos. My father, Darkenbai, made a wooden portrait of his uncle to express his gratitude to his teacher. In this photo, you can see my young father and mother. This is a family photo. In this photo, they're married.
Very handsome photos.
Here you can see the headgear, rosary beads and glasses which my father wore. My father's works are exhibited here. This monkey mask is my father's first work. This case is another interesting exhibit in our museum.
That's amazing.
When my father was in the army, he served in the town of Perm. When he had free time, he engaged in his favorite occupation and made this case.
It's a beautiful.
Here's a portrait of a girl. It's my mother. He polished and completed it in the army. It turns out that unique exhibits of this museum displayed the applied arts of Kazakhstan on exhibitions held in England, Israel and the United Arab Emirates a few times. This fact is not surprising at all because the real history of Kazakh people lives in each of these things. Let's go here. These are traditional kinds of musical instruments. These are pipes. These are sazsurnai and shankolbas. They were made of reed and wood previously. These pipes were played in this way. When sheep are grazing, you have a lot of free time and can play a musical instrument. Anyway, I'm not a musician. This is a sazsurnai. It's made of clay. You play it like this. You can try. Okay, I'll try. Let's do it together. This is a woman's belt, which is a precious exhibit for me. It's my grandfather Shokpa's work. This is the only example of his work housed in this museum, because the others haven't remained intact. Probably there are some other museums. He made it for a daughter of a bai, or a rich landowner. Later she brought it to our museum and said that it had been made by my grandfather. In addition, you can see various kinds of jewelry here. These are bracelets and pendants, which are thick, thin and round.
And where did you find all these things? This is quite a big collection.
My father collected all these exhibits in order to preserve our people's culture. He dedicated 40 years of his life to collecting such exhibits and doing research work. He wrote about 200 popular science articles about the Kazakhs' applied arts. He traveled around Kazakhstan to find such exhibits. He went to various cities and towns and visited a lot of craftsmen. If he was told that a craftsman lived somewhere, he went to them and brought something that he could exchange for their work. Sometimes he bought their works. He gathered these things bit by bit. Robert, I'm going to show you a unique exhibit to our museum. My father restored this workbench following old craftsmen's stories. Previously, craftsmen made various workbenches and versatile tables which helped make their work easier. This tool is called a talka in Kazakh. When craftsmen worked on leather, they left it in a special solution. Then they pulled the leather out, dried it, and as a result the leather became very In order to soften it up, they rolled it up, put it here and softened it. Telling the truth, the exhibits of this original museum left me with such a profound impression that I couldn't go past the visitor's book without writing a few lines, which would remind Dulet of my visit.
Hey there, friends. Did you know the oldest museum in the world is called the Albert in Victoria? It's a craft museum based in London, and it's now one of the most visited museums in the world. The museum heads actively bought modern and old arts and craft works. Thanks to generous donations, the museum managed to assemble a big collection quickly. There are copies of Roman sculptures, Chinese porcelain, carved wood furniture, precious fabrics, renowned wallpapers from Paris, and even Queen Victoria and her husband Albert's outfits embroidered with golden threads among the museum exhibits.
After lunch, we went to the workshop. Dulet and his apprentices make household goods and jewelry following all the ancient Kazakh traditions in this workshop. I convinced my new friend to tell me the secret of making a Kazakh bracelet called a blazik. Let's go, Robert. I want to show you how to make the traditional types of Kazakh bracelets. We need a plate like this. Then we attach it. The plate should be firmly attached to the table so that we could make the pattern easily. Usually bracelets are made of silver or brass. Special plates of brass and silver bars are bought. First, thin metal strips are prepared. After that, a craftsman starts engraving a pattern on them using a special instrument called a torpe.
So,
the pattern is ready. Now we will clean it. First we need to straighten it. And now we will clean it using the machine. After that, we will shape it. Robert, don't you want to try cleaning?
I'd love to have a go.
You should be careful. Now we're going to shape the bracelet using this instrument. Dulet has explained that now bracelets are polished using a special machine, while previously it was done using an ordinary piece of wool. This work was done by apprentices because it helped test their persistence, eagerness, and find out if they really wished to be craftsmen. Well, this bracelet is completed. When you return home, give it to your mum as a gift.
Oh, Ahmed, my mum's gonna love that. That's amazing.
Dusk was approaching and I wanted to see so many interesting things, so I convinced Dulet to tell me a bit more about his most interesting work. Robert, here our guys make wooden crockery, previously our traditional dishes. For example, meat and pilaf were served in this crockery. Hold it firm. You'd better hold it from this side and put it like this, okay?
So these are so light and I love the lines through them, but I've not seen bowls and plates made out of wood before. Why do Kazakhs not have porcelain? Why do they use wood?
It's connected with the nomadic life. Previously, the Kazakhs made wooden crockery because wood was an easily accessible material. Now guys make crockery of wood because nowadays there's a great demand for it. First they shape the crockery, then it must be impregnated. Previously they impregnated with animal fat. Now we use a vegetable oil. It has a positive effect on the wood because it doesn't crack and can be stored for a very long time. As you've already noticed, it isn't easy work. Learning to produce wooden things takes more than a year. For example, Joly has been teaching his brother Madi for 5 years. Now he's working on a set of crockery. All the items are made of leather. Clay or wood are either exhibited or sold. According to Joly, there's a high demand for traditional utensils and household goods because people want to be closer to their history.
So I see this is a bowl, and this is different, and this is quite a large one. Is there different foods that you use these for?
Actually, these pialas, or tea bowls, were used to drink milk, kumys, or aran. Crockery like this used to serve Kazakh-style meat, beshpamak, and pilaf. As for the smaller dishes like these, the Kazakh put a ram's head on it to treat the honorable guest. These are called kese. This is called kese. This is an astal. And this is a small astal.
Hey guys, I've got another interesting fact. Kazakhs use elm trees for crockery. Now, another word for elm trees is karagash. Kara meaning black and agash meaning trees. And I'm told it's a Turkic word. Karagash is another name of an elm, a tree that can be 40 meters high and its trunk circumference can reach 2 meters. The average lifespan of the trees is 100 years old. However, some trees are 400 years old. The elm wood is very firm, durable. It's bent easily and it's easy to process. The most important advantage is when things are made of it, the wood doesn't warp or crack.
At the evening we went to Dalet's place. It turned out that we had been waited for there for a long time. I was shown to the place of honourable guest. We had dinner at a traditional Kazakh table, which is low and round, and sat on bright blankets embroidered by hand. These blankets are called korpi. Robert, the Kazakhs have a tradition according to which an honourable guest first should be given something white, which can either be milk or kumys. We've prepared kumys for you. Taste it.
Oh, thank you very much. This is the first time I've tried kumys. Very different to milk than I'm used to. A little bit bitter, but I like the taste.
You know, besides cow milk, the Kazakhs drink horse and camel milk too. I've been given horse milk called kumys at Dalet's place today. This drink is a bit sour, but very tasty. It's different from all the drinks I've tasted in other countries in the world. Robert, I'll introduce my family to you.
Hello.
This is my wife Altanay and my eldest son Anwar.
Nice to meet you.
He's an 8th grader studying at Jurganov Academy of Arts. This is my second son Rustam.
Rustam, hello.
He's a 7th grader. This is my 3rd son Tarkan.
G'day there, how you doing, Takran?
He studied in 2nd grade. This is my daughter. Her name is Tolganay. She still goes to kindergarten.
Hello there.
This is our traditional national bread called bolsak.
I have heard of bolsak.
When you sit at the table, first you should eat bread and try bolsaki. After it, you can eat meat and other dishes.
And what are these called?
This is our traditional food, which is made from cow's milk and kurt cheese. It's called kurt. You can taste it too.
Ah, thank you. I've heard of this.
This is a rimshik. I was surprised because Dalet's wife had cooked a lot for me. I even thought that they were expecting other guests at the evening, but they weren't. All the dishes had been cooked only for me. This is real Kazakh hospitality. It was the first time I tried horse meat and I liked it a lot. By the way, Dalet said that the main dish hadn't been ready yet. It was being cooked outside on a special stove. I had to see it. This Kazakh dish is called kordak. It's made with meat, offal and potatoes. Joly explained that if the dish is cooked in a large cooking pot using firewood, it is especially tasty. This recipe has been used since ancient times. This is kordak. Let me put some on your plate.
Thank you.
Previously, when Kazakhs were visited by honorable people, they slaughtered cattle. They could slaughter sheep, a horse, or a cow. It depended on the person's prosperity. The meat was being cooked for a few hours, about 2 to 3 to be exact.
Thank you.
At that time, they quickly cooked kordak using offal such as lungs, liver, and other ingredients, which cook fast. They ate kordak, and after they did meat. So taste it.
It smells good.
You like the smell, right?
Вкусно too, delicious.
Now people add potatoes and vegetables to it. Previously they didn't do it and used only offal.
Oh, this is great.
Our family doesn't have a special recipe for it. Our people usually cook using the same recipe. They deep fry everything in a large cooking pot, as you've seen. However, every woman can have her own recipe. I don't know exactly. You can add various spices too. Kordak was delicious, especially if you ate it with tea, which Altanay, Dulat's wife, poured me. By the way, I found out that the level of tea consumption in Kazakhstan is one of the highest in the world. They consume more than 1 kilogram per person per year. In comparison, only 650 grams are consumed in India. After delicious dinner, I decided to ask Dulat how he and his beautiful wife had met. This is me when I was young.
Oh, wow.
This is our wedding. It was 15 years ago.
How did you meet your wife?
We met in our museum. She visited it.
Ah.
And we met there. Telling the truth, I didn't want to leave this house at all. However, it was 10 p.m. and I was afraid to miss my bus. I liked Dulat's family a lot. I immediately noticed that friendship and mutual understanding reigned in this house, thanks to family head Dulat and his wife Altanay. We shouldn't forget that Altanay is the homemaker.
So today's been a really amazing day, very special. Lots and lots of hospitality. It's exactly what I'm looking for here in Kazakhstan. So what have I done today? I've been to a museum, I've played on traditional Kazakh instruments, I've learnt a little bit about leather making, I've used a hammer and a chisel to make some traditional Kazakh crockery, which is pretty amazing. Jewelry, so a present for my mother to take home, so something, a little memory I can give her of this amazing trip, and some absolutely delicious food. Really, the warmth is amazing. I'm loving this place. It's really, really special. And so, that's the end of yet another day. It's been a memory that I'll remember for a very long time. So I'd like to say a small thank you. So you've welcomed me into your home and it's been warm, delicious food. You've shown me how to work the wood and given a gift to my mother, and I really appreciate that's a life memory. It's amazing hospitality. So it was just a very small gift, but I wanted to, a small something for Altanay and another small something for the beautiful young daughter. So I wanted to say thank you so much.
Thank you, Robert.
What a perfect day. I'm really starting to understand the origins and roots of Kazakh people. Such warmth I've never felt before. It's absolutely fantastic. Thank you to Dolet and his family. I've just had an amazing experience. So, if you think your family is more hospitable than Dolet's, then invite me.